Hello and welcome to another week of Sambo iRacing. We're back with another track guide, this time in the Formula 4 at Phillip Island Circuit on iRacing. This track guide is using the fixed setup, which is the default iRacing Phillip Island setup for the fixed series. If you are new to my channel, what we do is a hot lap, a breakdown, then we're back in the cockpit one final time, the driving line on. Right, let's start the lap. Okay, let's start the hot lap. So this is using 57% brake bias. We're going to go through turn one absolutely flat. So we're going to start off on the left. We're still in top gear. Just making sure we make it through. And we're going to brake very gently as we come up to that Marshall's hut, all the way down to fourth gear. Back on the gas nice and early. If you look at the telemetry trace there, we're not braking hard at all. It's long rather than hard. Apparently. Right, just before the 100-meter marker, we're going to brake quite hard up to about 90% here, all the way down to second here at turn 4. Slight adjustment mid-corner, but this was still my fastest lap. My first time driving around Phillip Island, really enjoyed it. Third gear here around turn 5 and 6. Back on the gas, back over to left-hand side. We go flat out here through turn 8. Through turn 9, just before we get to that elbow, we're going to do a big lift, get back on the gas nice and early, looking for the 50-meter board. And we brake all the way down to second gear here, and now we're flat once again all the way to the finish line. This is going to make for very close racing, lots of drafts, it's going to be a lot of fun. And here we come over and across the line in a 1:29.147. Give it a spin. Show what you've got. Right, let's do the breakdown. Okay, breakdown lap. So as I say, 57% brake bias. And we're just going to go flat out through turn 1. You don't need to get too hung up on the apex there. So our turn 2 braking marker is kind of tricky because there's nothing really to show. So for me, it was just the fact that I spent 15 minutes doing it, so I got to know it quite well. But it's just as we're sort of making our way towards the Marshall's Post on the left-hand side, and we're only braking up to about 30%, drop it down to 5th. And as we go past the Marshall's Hut, we're still on sort of 5-6%. We're just trying to get the car settled, drop it down to 4th. Once I go past the second bit here that says 2.1 on the left-hand side, that's when I start building back up on the gas. And you're just following that round, hugging it round to the left-hand side, all the way through the exit of turn 2. Turn 3, absolutely flat. And turn 4, as I already mentioned before, it's just before the 100-meter board. So just before we get there, we're going to brake up to nearly 90%, drop it down to 4th, drop it down to 3rd. We're still trailing off all the way down to the apex of 4. I drop it down to 2nd. I had a slight adjustment there on entry. As I go through the apex, I'm at sort of 60-70%, and then I get back on the gas nice and early. Exit nice and wide. As we come to turn 6, the braking marker for turn 6 is the end of the rumble strip on the right-hand side, as you can see here. And we brake up to about 45%, trail it off, drop it down to 3rd, and then we start building back up. So we're almost on full gas as we're midway through the corner, as you can see using the map there. And then once I can sort of open that steering wheel of mine, I get back up to 100%. Go up through the gears, flat out here through turn 7, flat out through turn 8. So for turn 9, you see this entry road coming up on the left-hand side. That's your first marker, and then you've got another road on your right-hand side there. So as we are in between those two roads, that's when we do a full lift in 5th gear, almost. So we go down to nothing, and then as we start going up the hill, we're on sort of 50% gas. Now we can give it full beans as we crest the hill, try and get over to the left-hand side as quickly as possible. Now the 50-meter marker is our sort of marker to let us know to hit those brakes, and we brake up to 80%, trail it off, drop it down to 3rd, drop it down to 2nd, try and hook those inside tires, those right-hand tires on the rumble strip on the right-hand side, getting on the gas as early as possible. Now, this is the most important corner on the track because we are now on the gas all the way through to the middle of turn 2. Because we're just flat out through here. Need to slow these down. Right, and over and across the line in a 129.147. You have one final version of the lap coming up now with the driving line on without me talking. Please enjoy. As always, thanks for watching. I've been Sambo iRacing, and I'll see you guys in the week. Cheers.